You know, it was a little over a year where I didn't know who the fuck this nigga was, and now I'm reviewing this motherfucker's album. That is a come up for your ass, nigga. Shit. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews. Hip hop slash electronic slash soul R&B. Nigga, too many genres data, nigga. We got an album review today, and we're gonna be talking about the debut album from a producer nigga who at first I didn't know who the fuck was, and now all of a sudden this nigga's everywhere, and everybody's talking about this album, so I had to holler at the shit. Nigga got beats, I give him that, so we gonna talk about it, talking about the new album from Kaytranada entitled 99.9%. Nigga, I get it. You don't want to just say you're perfect. You just want to leave that little bitty room for error, nigga. But shit, I would have went 100 with me. If that was me, I was just, fuck it, I'm 100, nigga, goddamn. For those who aren't familiar with Kaytranada like I was not too long ago, he is a Montreal producer, 23 years old, been making a lot of noise over the past few years. He's done a lot of remixes of old songs that were hits. He's also been on the fucking production credits for a lot of dope MCs who I like Freddie Gibbs, Vic Mensa, Mick Jenkins, he's done some shit for. He did some shit for Quali. So he's been getting busy for the past few years. And like I said, I didn't know who the fuck he was like a year ago. And then now, I know who he is. I'm sorry, I was sleeping on Kaytranada, but now I'm awake, nigga. So now he brings us his debut commercial album off XL Recordings. So now let's see if Kaytranada can work off all that momentum he's been building over these past couple years and put it into a full-fledged, super dope album that everybody's gonna love. Let's talk about the shit. Now, like I said, Kaytranada is the producer, so on this album, he makes all the fucking beats. He's the dude who's got all the beats, all the sounds are done by Kaytranada, and like I said, he does a lot of multi-genre stuff. So you get everything from hip-hop sounds, to fucking house music, to soul, R&B sounds, to all kinds of crazy shit mixed in it's like a fucking gumbo album. You get all kinds of different sounds. But the thing about Kaytranada that I realized is he is a very talented producer. His beats are well layered. He uses a lot of different instrumentation. He has a lot of real suspenseful build-ups and a lot of cool breakdowns and beat changes on this album. And the production on here really shines and just shows all areas and facets of Kaytranada's skill set. I mean, he can give you a dope head nod hip-hop banger. He can give you a very smooth, soulful R&B track for you to sing on. He could just give you a dope instrumental track and just play with all kinds of different instruments and sounds to just make you like really just get into the musical aspect of his skills. And I gotta say that on this album you get all that plus more, and from the beginning track all the way to the end of the album, it's about 15 tracks long, you get so much of what Kaytranada can do. Is pretty much saying, what the fuck can't this nigga do? This nigga does every goddamn thing. You throw him any kind of fucking type of music, he could probably make a dope track out of it. And that just shows how well just fucking layered and just well versed he is in his craft. And he's only 23 years old, so shit, 10 years, I don't know what the fuck he gonna be doing. But now, let's talk about all the motherfuckers he got up on here to complement the fucking beats that he was making. Cause shit, I mean, I thought, it's a gumbo of everything. He got everybody from all walks on this motherfucker. So let's talk about who we got on this motherfucking album, how he did it. So when it comes to the features on this album, he's got a mixed bag on here. Let me run down the list, because he got Kareem Riggins, River Tiber, or Tiber, I don't fucking know. I fucked up your name, so you're gonna be famous soon. It's a proven fact. Craig David's here, Aluna George, Gold Link, Vic Mensa, Bad Bad Not Good, Fonte, Anderson .Paak, Sid the Kid, Shay Leah, and Little Dragon. So as you can see, he's got fucking out. How you get all these motherfuckers on one album, Kaytranada? I mean, because he's a dope producer and he can just bounce from genres. But there's tracks on here where pretty much everybody on this album complements it well. There are some people on here and some tracks that I really don't care for. It's not necessarily about the artist or the beat, it's just overall the song just didn't do anything for me. But I think his selection of who he brought on this album, they all complemented and they worked well with the beat that they were on. So I didn't feel like anybody was out of place on the beat that they were on, that Kaytranada made. I just felt like some songs did something for me and some really didn't. But most of the songs here I could appreciate and I listened to. And on a musical standpoint, Kaytranada kills it. And even on like the songwriting standpoint for some of the people, like the song with Fonte I enjoyed, the song with Craig David I enjoyed. Of course, Bad Bad Not Good is one of my favorite bands, so I enjoyed that track. And then there were songs that I really didn't care too much for, like the song Together with Aluna George and Gold Link. It really reminds me of the Estelle song American Boy, I think, you know, because the beat really does remind me, and then the way that she also sings it just has that vibe. So I really didn't click with that song because it just kept reminding me of the Estelle song. And if you don't know, just listen to the Estelle song and then listen to that fucking song on here, and then you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. Then around the end of the album, it's really house centered, so a lot of the songs started to sound sort of similar, the same to me. They're really good and layered beats that just I kind of tuned out around the end of the album. But for the most part, it's a really solid album and a really solid list of features on here, and Kaytranada really brought a lot of good moments on this album that I really appreciated. And then there are some moments on here that I kind of passed or glossed over, but overall, I think it's a solid project. Now, you know I gotta give him a top 5 tracks, and like I said, a lot of these tracks here I did enjoy. Some I didn't, but I was easily able to find 5 tracks. Actually, I had a little bit more, but I still kept it at 5. So my top 5 are track Uno, Got It Good featuring Craig David, Weight Off featuring Bad Bad Not Good, One Too Many featuring Fonte, and then Breakdance Lesson number 1. So those are my favorite tracks here. Track Uno was the opening track on here, and I just love how layered and how it just kind of starts off low key, and then all of a sudden hits you with them heavy dance house drums, and then it just keeps building and building up, and then it's about a 5-minute track, and then around the tail end of the track it flips to another beat that's just as dope. There's a lot of great instrumentation on here. I think it's some synth sounds, I don't know, it's some weird sounds on here, but they sound so damn good, and it just showcases just how well layered and well detailed Kaytranada can take a beat and take a piece of music and just really extend it out, and it doesn't even feel like it's 5 minutes long. It's just because there's build-ups, there's breakdowns, it's just so much to it, and it's an instrumental track, and it's one of my favorites. It's the perfect way to set off the album, and it hooked me. That track hooked me in, and from that point on, I was good. I was like, yo, let's listen to this fucking album. I'm hyped. It got me hyped. It got me ready. It served its purpose. The next track, Got It Good, which features Craig David, is a really smooth R&B soulful type joint. I really liked it. A lot of just laid back. It's got a nice little sample in there. Really some deep, heavy drums and bass on here. Just that nice R&B feel. And Craig David, he brings a really good song, dope hook, dope singing on here. The Got It Good hook, I really like it. And it just gives you that classic R&B feel. It's got that old school R&B feel, and it really stuck out to me the first time I heard it. Had to play it back a few times, and it's clearly one of my favorites on this album. And Craig David, this is dope. Craig David's been dope for years, so it's good to hear him on this track, and he did his thing on here, so definitely gotta check that one out. Next track is Weight Off featuring Bad Bad Not Good, and I was surprised to see how this will work out with Bad Bad Not Good style and Kaytranada style, but god damn it, this is one of my favorite tracks on this album. Like literally, the fucking heavy, dope bass line on here, that doom doom doo, that shit's so fucking dope. And then Bad Bad comes in with the dope percussion, the drums, and the fucking, you can hear the track oozing the Bad Bad Not Good in here. You kind of forget that Kaytranada also had a hand in this beat, because just the Bad Bad Not Good in here is just so apparent, it's so strong. But their collaboration on here just worked fucking flawlessly and perfectly. And I mean, it's for an instrumental track. It has everything. You don't need nobody on this motherfucker. I'm glad they didn't put anybody on here. I'm glad they just kept it on a musical standpoint. And this is clearly it's just funky. But it's eerie at the same time. And it's just got this dope like clash of styles. And it's just like one of my best tracks on this album. You know, I definitely, Bad Bad's dope. If you sleeping on Bad Bad Not Good, you shouldn't, because they are a dope ass fucking band. So you definitely gotta check them out. But I love this track. The next track that I like was One Too Many, and that's featuring Fonte. And when the track started, it was a real dance, R&B-ish type track. So I'm like, I'm probably gonna get singing Fonte. And don't get me wrong, I like singing Fonte. Fonte can sing, Foreign Exchange is dope. But I was like, I wanted some rapping Tay. And luckily, at the tail end of the track, I got a few bars of rapping Tay. I was like, yes. And, you know, he gave, even in those little bitty set of bars, he gave me some fucking gems, like, you know, some set the bar, some raised the bar, I passed the bar, let me get you off. If you don't even know what that means, just the dope. But on top of that, he does bring a really smooth sound with his fucking vocals when he's actually singing. And I think people are sleeping on him as a singer. For the most part, actually, you know, it's sleeping on Fonte in general. That motherfucker is dope. But yo, so definitely check that one out, because like you get some singing, you get some rapping on the Fonte tip, and then the fucking beat on here is just real jazzy, smooth, but it's also just got that nice little house hop to it, and it got a hip hop flavor to it for, you know, Fonte to rock over. So I was surprised that it was gonna be a singing track, but it did work out very well. And hey, we got both rapping and singing taste, so I can't be mad. I can't be fucking mad. It's a dope fucking track. And the last track is Breakdance Lesson Number 1. Now, when I heard this track, immediately I was like, yes, this is a breakdance track. I felt like I needed to go to the streets, get some cardboard on the floor, and start head spinning on niggas. I mean, I can't do that, but the track made me feel like I should be able to do it if I tried hard enough, but I probably just failed. But the point is this, the beat sounds straight up like out of like some fucking old school like 80s breakdance type breaking it movie. And for some reason, only thing that this track was missing was a Curtis Blow intro. If I heard if you listen to this track, you can just hear the way that Curtis Blow would rap. You could just hear it on that track. It's got some real funky guitar chords and some hard hitting claps and drums on here, and it just oozes out that fucking breakdance moving, breaking style. So it's a definite track, especially if you a hip hop head. It's gonna take you back to that era, like when you was doing that shit. If you was doing that shit, I wasn't, but if you when you hear it, but you feel like you should be doing it when you hear that track. But all in all, I have to say that 99.9% is an overall solid album. Yes, it has its little bit of hiccups. It has the song, like I said, it sounds like the Estelle joint that I just couldn't get with. And then I also found myself enjoying the front end of this album more than the tail end of this album. There's a lot more variety in the top half of the album. It's a lot more layers to the beats. There's a lot more things going on, and that's a lot of different facets and sounds of Kaytranada style. Around the end, everything starts to sound the same a bit to me. He sticks with that house type of sound at the end, so it's really good, but it just didn't stick with me like the beginning of the album. And if he would have kept that same variety or switched it up as much as he did in the first half of the album, I would have liked it a lot more. But overall, I gotta say, Kaytranada, for a debut album and all the work you've been putting in, you did a good fucking job, dude. And like, if motherfuckers didn't know who you were before, god damn it, they gonna know who the fuck you are now, because this album is fucking dope overall, man. So I gotta say, you did a good fucking job, dude. 23 years old, you making beats like this shit, you scaring me, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you gonna be doing in 5 years, nigga. Let me get a beat, though. Like, I mean, holla at me. I got bars, nigga. You just listen to my shit. You gonna be like, yo, this nigga's got bars. You work with people like I work. Nigga, just let's make it happen. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Kaytranada 99.9% is an overall super dope, very, very well produced, well featured album that shows that Kaytranada is a producer that ain't a one-trick pony, and he is gonna be here for many years making tons of dope beats and tons of dope music for artists of all genres. All I'm saying is that dude can make beats, and he can make them well. There's a lot of good change-ups on here, a lot of breakdowns, a lot of different types of instrumentation. He's got so many different genres he plays around with, and then he's got dope features. Fonte, Bad Bad Not Good, Craig David, Vic Mensa, shit, Anderson .Paak. I mean, he's got a lot of dope artists coming in, helping him, but actually he still keeps that focus and momentum on himself, and he really just shines on this album. There are a couple hiccups here, but not enough to really make me hate this album, but it's not enough to make me think it's a perfect album. So yeah, 99.9% was right, because it's not quite 100 for you, Kaytranada. But all I gotta say is that for me, Kaytranada 99.9% isn't Granddad approved, but I will give it a very highly Granddad recommended. So definitely go check it out. It's out right now. You can copy it, you can stream it, whatever you gotta do to get it, but listen to it because it is a dope fucking album. And Kaytranada, for a debut, you did pretty fucking good, man. I gotta say, I give you props though. But next album, let's get that 0.1% and make it perfect. But I got nothing more to say. Kaytranada, 99.9% is very highly Granddad recommended. So go check it out right now. Flip it. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Kaytranada 99.9% if you heard it. If you haven't heard it, like I said, it's a very dope album. Beats on here are crazy good. Features are dope. Not everything is amazingly great, but overall, he did a good fucking job for a debut and shit. I can't wait to hear more beats from this nigga and possibly get one if possible. I ain't got money though. I mean, we can work something out. I mean, I reviewed your shit, nigga. You owe me one. Fuck. Previous videos on the side as well as my new single. Check that shit out, especially you, Kaytranada. And if you like it, then there we go. We in there. And it's also Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below. Woolly Reviews. Twice a week. Gaming channel. Check that out. And I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddaughter, Kaytranada, 99.9%. Nigga, almost perfect. Almost. But I like you were smart in that title. But goddamn it, we gonna go 100 next time. I know you got it in you, Kaytranada. I see it. I'm out of here.